What's going on, and welcome back. So, I have a list here of all the games that I finished this year. I finished 20 games this year, and I know some of you are probably thinking, that's it, just 20? Look, that's a big accomplishment for me, okay? 20 games in a year. I think last year, I can't remember how many there were. I think it was like maybe 14 or something like that. But 20, I didn't even think I was going to get through that many because of the whole buying a new house, moving, being homeless for 2 months. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to play that many video games this year. And I was wrong. I was completely wrong. I got through 20. I was surprised. So I'm just going to tell you what games they are, right? Because if I pull them all out, dude, I have a big stack of games in front of me. That's no fun. So the first game that I finished, and this is all from January to right now. So the first game that I finished was Diablo 4. Dude, I'm not really that into like the Diablo series, or I wasn't. Last September, my buddies Stetson and Kat got me Diablo 4 for my birthday. And I started playing it in October. And I think it was sometime at the beginning, towards the beginning of November. That's when my PlayStation 5 died. And if you remember, if you watched any of those videos back then, or last year as a matter of fact, I bitched for like 2 months not having a PS5. That kind of like bummed me out like big time. So first thing I did was in January, I'm sorry, the day after Christmas, I got a new PS5 and I jumped back into Diablo 4 and I finished it. Dude, I finished it kind of like the first week, I think, of January. And I gotta say, I love that game, dude. I thought it was good. Really, really good. Like I said, I wasn't like, not a big fan of like the Diablo series. I tried playing 3. I think me and my buddy Mark actually we finished 3. But, dude, Diablo 4, man, there's no comparison. You just gotta play it. If you haven't played it, trust me, I think you're gonna love it. Next game that I finished was Spider-Man 2. Now, what a great game that was, let me tell you. Dude, the first one was awesome. And then there was Miles Morales, which, picked up the story, which was great. Spider-Man 2 it was amazing, man. You get to play as Spider-Man, or Peter Parker, and Miles Morales, which is awesome. I'd stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. On the weekends. No, not during the weekday, but on the weekends. I stayed till 4 o'clock in the morning playing it. Because, dude, when you're having fun with a game, like I did with this one, dude, it's like time just passes. It's crazy. I know, it's like you're playing a game that you're really enjoying. Before you know it, you start like a game like at 8 o'clock in the afternoon. And before you know it, it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. And you're like, holy smokes, dude, where did the time go? That's when you know you're playing a good game, right? So, dude, Spider-Man 2 was great. And I did everything I could possibly do on that game. As I did with the previous ones, just to make it last longer. And before I knew it, it was done. And I was sad. Now, after that, I decided I'm gonna play something a little bit different, a little change of pace. So I started playing Tales of Arise. Now, I really enjoy RPGs. That's one of my favorite genres, especially Final Fantasy. I don't really play too many RPGs, only because of the fact that they take so long to play through, right? I'm like, dude, I'm used to playing a game like, give or take, anywhere from 12 hours all the way up to maybe 24 hours. But like RPGs, dude, those games, they go anywhere from 60 to over 100 plus hours, right? So I kind of felt like I was a little over my head when I started playing Tales of Arise. And I think I finished that game, I want to say 60 plus hours, I think. But I had a good time playing it. That's why I really enjoy playing RPGs, but I gotta really be dedicated when I start an RPG because how long they take, and I don't like starting games and not finishing. So if I start a game, I gotta see it all the way through, and it's a real commitment for me anyways to play an RPG. But this one I really enjoyed it. This is my first Tales game that I ever played, and it makes me want to go back and check out the other ones, so I might do that. After that, this next game, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Dude, you know I love Metroidvania games. This one was excellent. This was an excellent Metroidvania. I like the fact, like the Ori games, right? They start off simple and then they ramp up in difficulty the further you go in, and this was no exception. You know, this one started off fairly simple, and then as I continued on, like the platforming got pretty difficult, really difficult. You have to like be on your toes to maneuver some of the stages or some of the areas in the game, and dude, I love that. I love when games do it like that. You know, instead of just starting off hard, like in hard mode, right, and it just gets even worse. You know, I like to take it a little bit easier, and I like to play games either in normal mode or in easy, just to get a feel for the game. And I love it, you know, starting off simple, getting a little bit harder towards the end. It's great, dude. Infamax, dude, that was a game that I really enjoyed. If you ever played it, you're gonna know why. I'm a huge fan of Castlevania, and this was kind of like what's the right word here? It kind of gave it had that Simon's Quest kind of vibe, right? Dude, it reminded me of Simon's Quest. It borrowed a lot of elements from Simon's Quest, and they put it into this game. There's some parts that were very similar, like you could tell, like they took parts from that game, like not like kind of like a parody almost. Dude, good game. If you like Castlevania games, if you like 8-bit style games, that sort of thing, dude, Infamax, you need to check it out, dude. It's pretty fun. Pretty funny too. Next game I played was Tunic. Now, again, I'm going to be saying this a lot, but my favorite genre is, you know, RPGs. My favorite genre, favorite game, franchise, of course, of all time, Castlevania. But Tunic, it reminded me a lot of like the old school Legend of Zelda games. They just throw you in. They don't tell you what's going on, and you just kind of figure it out as you go along, right? This was no exception. Tunic, it's one of those games. It's kind of like, you know, the Legend of Zelda. You start off, and then you just take off, and you're trying to figure out where to go and what to do, whatever. And it's got its own language. And as you're, what's neat is you're finding like, man, it's been a while since I played that game. It's very early in the year, but you find like pages of the instruction manual that should have been in the game, right? So it gives you hints and it gives you clues of what to do and where to go next. It's pretty cool, man. I like that game a lot, man. I played it on Game Pass, and then my Game Pass was running out, so I ordered it for the Switch. So my copy of the Switch version came in, and I think I had a day left on Game Pass before I ran out, and dude, I blew through it and I finished it on Game Pass. So my copy of Tunic on the Switch it's still sealed, and it'll probably stay sealed. Next, Gal Guardians. Again, they say it's like an RPG, but not an RPG, a Metroidvania, but not really. It's kind of like it's kind of straightforward. There might be some parts where you might want to like go back in it, where you can get, I guess, extra items or whatever. There's some stages you might have to repeat, but it's a pretty good game. What kind of freaked me out, but surprised me was, I remember they had it it was on Amazon for a while for like $24. And then my buddy Mark told me one day, he's like, "You ever heard of Gal Guardians?" I was like, "Yes." I was like, "That's a game I want to pick up here pretty soon," because I heard at the time I didn't really know too much about it. I was like, I heard it's like a Metroidvania. He's like, "I don't know what's going on with that game." He goes, "But that sucker is like super expensive now." I was like, "No." I was like, "There's no way." I just saw it like a week ago on Amazon for $24, and when I went on Amazon, they were sold out. I was like, "What?" So I looked on eBay, and that's where unfortunately I had to pick it up on eBay because that's the only place I can find it. And I got I guess the PAL version was a little bit cheaper. I think they had it for like $35 or whatever. But I bought the US version, and that one was kind of hard to find. And the price that I paid was close to $70. I don't know how much they're going for now, but dude, that was a game that I definitely wanted to play. So I kind of missed out getting it earlier than what I wanted, and I had to pay the price for it, but it happens sometimes. Stray. Now that's a game that I never thought I'd play because you're playing as a cat, and it took me a little bit to get into because I thought it was, I thought it was a little bit weird because you're playing as a cat and you're going through this like the city that's all like robots, and you're trying to help them figure out their problems and stuff. And dude, it's kind of strange because I enjoyed that game. I didn't think I was going to, but I did. And it's not that long. It's not that long of a game. So when I got to the end, I was like, dude, that was a good story. Believe it or not, you know, helping out and figuring out like the little puzzles that are in the game are pretty cool or whatever. But being a cat, playing as a cat, it's a little bit different. Silent Hill Short Message. It's a 2-hour long game. I downloaded it, and I still have it as a matter of fact. And I sat down and I played it with my friends Stetson and Kat, and that was fun. Dude, they should make more games like that. Little short 2-hour games that you can blow through with your friends. You know, that sort of thing. We got into it. We got into it. I didn't think we were going to finish it that night, but we sat there, we played it all the way through, and it was all right. You know, for a Silent Hill game, it was a little bit different. Not something that I was used to. It dealt a lot with like suicide and that sort of thing, but it made you think. It's like, what happened? Who did this and who did that or whatever? But it was okay for a Silent Hill game. It wasn't too bad. I would rather prefer sticking to like, you know, the original type of gameplay for Silent Hill. So I want to say this was first person, I believe. I think. Uncharted 4. We just talked about this last week. Dude, that's a game that I really, really enjoyed, dude. Because like the whole adventure of the game, I love the platforming in it. The beautiful locations they take you to in this game. I mentioned this last week. I wish they were real. I wish these were real places. I just had to stop and look around for a little bit and thought, man, this is beautiful. It's a beautiful game, man. If you haven't played it, pick it up. I still need to get it. I played it on PlayStation Plus Premium, and there's still more game that I need to go through. I mean, I finished the main game, but there's the DLC, whatever. I forgot what it's called already, but yeah, I need to pick that game up so I can play through it. I want to play through it again, as a matter of fact. I mentioned that last week. I want to play through it again and then continue on with the story. And maybe later on I'll go back and revisit. I don't know about 1, but maybe 2 and 3. We'll see. What is this one? Immortals Phoenix Rising. Talked about that one last week too. Yes, dude. Great game. Great Breath of the Wild clone. That's what I meant to say. It's an awesome, like, it's a clone of the Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, and that's the best compliment I can give it. So if you're fans of those games, you're really gonna enjoy Immortals Phoenix Rising. Trust me, You will, dude. As a matter of fact, I said this last week that I feel that Immortals Phoenix Rising is a lot funner than Breath of the Wild, because Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, I played through those games, and I don't think I'll go back and revisit them. But Immortals Phoenix Rising, that's a game that I would definitely play again for sure. 2K23 PGA Golf. I know, a golf game, right? I'm still playing that game as we speak, but I played through the whole tour twice. I went through the whole tour twice, and it's a golf game. What more do you want me to tell you? It's a golf game, but I enjoy it. Me and my buddy Mark, we still play it to this day. He sets up little tournaments like throughout the week, and I jump in and I'll try to shoot, a good score, and then whenever he gets a chance, he'll get on there and he'll try to beat my score, and at the end of the day or before the next tournament starts, we'll see who won the round or whatever. We'll play for VC virtual currency, so it's a lot of fun. Persona 3 Reload. Now, like I said, I own other Persona games, but this is the first Persona game that I finished. This is when I was living at my sister's. Now, the thing is, this one actually took me a month. It took me a whole month to play through this game because I was living at my sister's at the time. This was during the move, and I had a lot of chores to do when I was over there. She had me doing a lot of chores. I was like, oh, come on, man. So whenever I had a chance, I'd jump on and play for a couple of hours a day. Not every day, but like I said, whenever I had a chance. So that game took me a month. I played that game, I think it was like 68 hours. It took me to get to play through that game. That's the thing, it was an RPG. And at the time, when I was living at my sister's, I took my PS5 with me, and the only game that I took with me was golf. And because all my games were packed up in the container, I was like, man, I need something else to play. I need something to pass the time while I'm staying here. I didn't know I was going to be there for 2 months, or was it like a month and a half or whatever, but I was like, man, dude, I gotta say, that was bad. That was like, I felt like I was at my low point in my life, being home. That was when I was homeless, basically. Dude, there was no house here on this property. I had already sold a house. I was just waiting for this house to come in, and the city was giving me a hard time about it. So finally, they approved the house. I got the house, blah, blah, the rest of the story. But dude, Persona 3, that was an excellent game. Order of Ecclesia. Now, I got the Dominus collection, Castlevania Dominus collection, a couple months ago, whatever. And played Order of Ecclesia. That's one of my favorite Castlevania games. One of my favorite Castlevania games. I remember playing it on the 3DS. I never finished it. I didn't know. I thought I was almost done. Apparently I wasn't, because when I replayed it again, I had a lot a lot left to go through. But played through that one. I really enjoyed that one. Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. Again, played that one during October. Good. A fun game to play during the month of October, during the spooky season, I thought. I had fun with it. To be honest with you, I enjoyed Luigi's Mansion 3 a little bit more because, I don't know, there's something about the gameplay or everything. It felt a little bit easier than this one, but it was pretty good, man. It was alright. But I go back and revisit it again, maybe. But you know what? I haven't played Luigi's Mansion, the original one. So maybe later on, whenever the Switch 2 releases, maybe they'll remake the first one. That'd be great. Silent Hill 2 remake. Oh my gosh. That gave me feelings of anxiety. That gave me feelings of fear. Like when I first played Silent Hill 2 back in the day when it first released on the PS2, that game was scary to me. Now, I thought I was desensitized from all like the survival horror stuff, but when I picked that game back up again, or when I picked that game up and played it for the first time, dude, it was freaky, dude. It was like really freaky. Like, I was scared to play with the lights off. And I was like, nah, okay, so this ain't gonna be too bad. So when I started playing Silent Hill 2 Remake, dude, I got them feelings back again. I don't know what it was. Maybe just because it was Silent Hill 2. I don't know. But I got those feelings back again. I was like, oh, dude, this is kind of freaky. And the environments they put you in, and the places where you gotta go, you're just like, God, this is what a horrible place to be in. I would hate to be trapped in Silent Hill. That would be horrible. I love the game though. It was a lot of fun. But man, I never want to visit that place ever. Portrait of Ruin, Castlevania Portrait of Ruin. Another game that I started that I almost thought I was done with back in the day with the 3DS. And again, apparently not. I had a lot of games still left to play through. So I had a lot of fun with that one. For sure. Now, this is a game that I picked up this year that I really been wanting to play, but I didn't think I was going to get a chance because of the move and all that, but I finally did, dude. The Order 1886. Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna have like nostalgia for that game because I would sit in the living room in this house and turn all the lights off, and me and my dog would sit on the couch and she'd sit there and watch me, and I'd play this game, dude. It was good. It was really good. It kind of reminded me of oh my god, what's the name of that game, man? I can't even remember now. Until Dawn. God, can you hear the dogs barking outside? They're going nuts. It reminded me of Until Dawn, where it's very story based, and you're walking through it, and there's some action parts, but for the most part, it's a lot of story. And dude, I was having so much fun playing that game. It was like getting really, really interesting. I was like, oh my god, this is great. I love that whole atmosphere of the game. Old London, right? And the way it looked, dude, I was like, man, this is great. And then it finished, and I was like, no, this is the end? There's got to be more, right? So I went online. I was like, maybe I didn't play it right or something. This can't be. Did I get like the bad ending or something, or what's going on? No, that was the ending. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, they're gonna end it like this? Dude, if you haven't played it, you need to check it out so you'll see what I'm talking about. But I was like, dude, I can't believe they ended the game like that. I wanted more. And I thought, dude, I really thought, it's like, did I mess up somewhere? Did I get like the bad end? No. That's how the game ended. And I know that game's really old. It's like one of the launch titles for the PS4. I want more, man. I want them to make a sequel to it. Oh my god, that would be so great. I doubt they will, but that would be awesome. I hope that maybe we'll get lucky and maybe they will. Overlord, Escape from Nazarick. It's one of those games that I started watching there's a series on Netflix called Overlord. It's an anime series. It's about characters playing an RPG. They get stuck in the RPG, kind of. I didn't watch the whole series. I got like the first few episodes or whatever. But I had bought the game before I started watching the series, so I kind of had an idea what was going on. Picked up the game. It's kind of like, again, they said it was kind of like a Metroidvania. In a way, it's not really. I mean, it kind of is, but it's really not. It's hard to describe the kind of game it is. Platformer for sure. There's some areas that are a little bit difficult, but they're not too bad. But there's a lot of areas that you need to revisit again. I don't know if that would make it a Metroidvania, but they're just kind of like they're forcing you to have to go back and revisit those areas. And then the game finished. I got through the game and I was like, the ending is wild. Dude, I love a game with a crazy ending. And that one was like, kind of, I was like, another one of those like, really? after all the shit that I went through, that happens at the end. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you don't know, like, you'd have to like play the game yourself so you can understand. And don't be going on YouTube and looking up the ending, because you have to play the game to understand the story, to understand the ending. It's one of those things. And last but not least, this is the game that took me to number 20. And that's The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. Okay, so I thought it was going to be a little... I kind of knew what I was getting into when I played that game. But I thought it was going to be a little bit different. Now, I'm not disappointed. I really enjoyed the game. But I was thinking, okay, this is the game that I'm going to make number 20 with. And when I started playing it, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to finish that game before this video comes out, because of the way it's a little slow paced. It's a little bit slow, and the things you got to do in the game to progress in the game. It's not like you're fighting with a sword. I mean, you kind of are, kind of. It's a puzzle game. It's what it is. It's a freaking puzzle game. I mean, it's not bad. I really enjoyed it. But if you are a fan of The Legend of Zelda and you think you're gonna get into a game that's kind of like, you know, a traditional Zelda type game, it's not. It's very puzzle based. And that's the first time I ever played a game that was that puzzle heavy. Okay, I use the word puzzle a lot because that's basically what it is. It's like a puzzle game. You gotta figure out a lot of puzzles. But I got through it and I enjoyed it. Will I ever play it again? Hell no. But I liked it. But yeah, that was my 20 games that I finished this year. Let's see, maybe next year I can play more, get through more. Now that I can't say that I don't have nothing to do, but now that I have a house and I got a little bit more time on my hands, I don't have to worry about moving or anything. Maybe I can get through more games. I think this coming year, it's going to be very this is going to be a very RPG heavy year for me. Like I said, I really enjoy RPGs, and the only complaint is they're a little bit too long, right? I want to play through Persona 5, but they say that's like one of the longest games. Not one of the longest games ever made, but I'm saying it's for an RPG to play it through. I think it's like a little over 100 hours. So that's one I'm going to really have to think about before jumping into that one. I want to play through Persona 4. Play some of the Ys games. Of course, Metaphor Refantasio. That's high on my list. That I'll be playing for sure this coming year. Probably next month. Probably starting next month. But yeah, man, next year's gonna be a lot of pretty RPG heavy games I'm gonna be playing, because I want to start getting more into that and challenging myself to see how long it's gonna take me to beat them. But there you go, man. My games that I finished this year. If you have a number, if you've been keeping count of the games that you've played this year, let me know. I want to know how many games you finished this year, and what games you finished this year. So anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you